What's behind this door here? Let's check out what's behind here.
His body was actually housed here, right in the museum. So that's interesting that he was here. And his most prized possession is right over there, which is the peace medal. What the hell was that?
The Buffalo History Museum began collecting in 1862. However, it moved to its current location in 1902. The Buffalo History Museum has been Western New York's premier historical organization, collecting and researching the Niagara Frontier's rich history. In its collection, it features more than 100,000 artifacts, 200,000 photographs, and over 20,000 books.
Hey, Dana.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Hey, Dana.
Dan, Cam.
So we wanted to meet you here at the workshop and just see if you can help us try to explain what a K2 meter is and what it does.
K2 meter is, it measures EMF.
What is EMF?
Electricity is only referred to as EMF when there's an open circuit. Once you close that circuit, it is electricity. And as you know, electricity and magnetism is two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
Right. The EMF detector closes that circuit and measures the amount of electrons flowing across a copper wire.
So how does this actually read the EMF?
Closes the circuit along a copper wire, and it's sensitive enough to measure the amount of electrons flowing over that copper wire.
And then with any fluctuations in that ambient EMF, that ties into a lot of theories that are directly tied in with ghosts and paranormal activity.
Exactly.
So it's basically just a circuit board.
Right. Well, all this is functioning is to control the lights but this piece right here is the most important. This is what measures the flow of electrons. You see that when I turn this on? See how it reads it?
Oh yeah.
Right.
And these walkie-talkies, they're going to set this K2 meter off.
Oh yeah, certainly.
That's giving off quite a high
Exactly.
level of electricity in the air.
It emits such a high level of EMF.
That's something you don't want to do in an investigation.
Yeah. That's why I do not like these during investigations.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can have a lot of false readings, and in order to use a K2 meter in an appropriate way in a paranormal investigation, you really have to know everything about the K2 meter and what kind of things will give you a false reading. So when you do get a good reading, you have better data to try to translate into whether something paranormal is going on or not.
Right.
Dana, thanks for giving us a better understanding of what EMF is and how it relates to our K2 meter. I think it's time to take this down to the Buffalo History Museum and put this K2 meter to test. Tony, how you doing? Cameron.
I'm Dan. Dan.
Joe.
Joe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Can you give us a little bit of the history, the background of the building that we're at right now? As far as paranormal wise, I mean, what's going on?
We've had a couple people that have reported being touched on the shoulder.
Okay.
I myself, I've sat in my office a few times, and you hear kind of phantom footsteps. You hear voices
Okay.
here and there, and you wonder if someone's in the building with you.
And
then
you're
ultimately,
by yourself in the building?
You're completely by yourself.
Okay. Where in the building were these people experiencing being touched?
Those stories came from the second floor in what we would call our Native American gallery.
Okay.
And then the stories that, the experiences that I've had have been on the lower level, just outside my office.
Okay. Okay, so Tony, I'm looking around here. Obviously, this is a Native American exhibit here with the museum. What kind of things have happened here?
A couple years ago, we had two visitors on separate occasions during 1 week come to the front desk and ask if we had any, paranormal activity. There's something that happened that you can't shake.
Yeah.
So you want to, so you can get used to it all you want, but sometimes, the hairs on the back of your neck are definitely going to stand up. Absolutely.
And I was told that Red Jacket, the Indian chief, his body after he died was actually kept here for a moment of time.
Yeah, the Seneca leader, Red Jacket, his body moved around a little bit, and prior to being reinterred at a local cemetery, his remains were stored here for a short time.
Okay. We do have Lewis, who is Seneca Indian on our team. I think that'd be a great opportunity for him to get in here and see if he can connect with, hopefully, Red Jacket. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the entrance to where your office would be, back down in here. Now, you were mentioning that you had actually had a couple experiences right in this vicinity.
Right, there were a couple different occasions where I'm working late, working on exhibits, or just catching up on some work around 9, 10 at night. And the first time, I was sitting in my office and I heard what sounded like footsteps coming down the main stairwell. At the time, I wondered, well, maybe if there might be another woman who had worked here who came in to work late. So I didn't really think much of it. And I heard, when they were coming down the stairs, I heard a woman's voice talking. So I automatically, assume you're not going to think it's paranormal right off the bat. So I thought it was somebody staying late working with me. A few minutes later, ended up wrapping up my work, leaving, noticed that the building was still locked down. No one was here, no one had been here. So that kind of, raised my curiosity a bit at that point.
Or just the one time, or was it?
Well, that was the first time. And then recently, just last year, a very similar incident happened. I was again sitting at my desk late at night, and I heard the same steps coming down the stairwell.
Okay.
Now this time, what happened was that walking into this room, there's a very particular noise that you hear. So when I heard the footsteps, I didn't really think much of it. I'm very comfortable in the building at this point. So I stayed, I continued working, and then I heard this thud coming down this hollow plank you walk in to get into this room. The minute I heard that, hair on the back of my neck stood up. I very calmly got up, grabbed my bag, and made a beeline for the door. Ultimately, there's so much history here. There's so many artifacts. If there is somebody here, we want to know who it is.
Okay, so basically we have three main areas to try to focus on here tonight. We have downstairs here by Miller Fillmore's carriage, where Tony, you've had a couple different experiences happen to you personally. I really want to make sure that we're looking into the visitors being touched in any way. We want to try to figure out if this is something that's reaching out to say something, who it is, make sure that we're giving them, you guys the, comfort that you need to, run a museum and then bring in the public, without any sort of hesitation. So we got a big task ahead of us here tonight. We got a lot of ground to cover. I think we should just start getting everything geared up, get the team together, and let's go.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we have a little spike here.
Could it possibly be Red Jacket?
My case just went dead.
Got a fluctuation as soon as you said that.
Wow, this is a pretty impressive place.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
look at this place, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
So on our show, we like to be able to feature certain theories, experiments, maybe some science involved in paranormal and technologies that are on the cutting edge of our field.
Okay.
You, with your show, Ghost Hunters International, and basically every other show or paranormal team on the planet, the number one tool used in a paranormalist's arsenal is the EMF fluctuation, a K2 meter, a MEL meter, a REM pod. The list goes on and on and on. So why is this such a main staple in basically every paranormal investigation on the planet today?
Well, I think with the K2 measuring EMFs when you walk into a place that's supposedly haunted, that you use the device so that if people are sensitive to EMFs, tend to get the feeling of paranoia, they hallucinate, and they get creeped out. And we think that eliminating the EMF fields in the place, getting a base reading, will let us fine tune it so that when we do investigate and we do have something that goes higher than the base reading, then you take notice that there's something could be happening soon, or what have you.
And the theory with the electromagnetic field fluctuation itself is that it's basically directly associated with a ghost, materializing or trying to manifest itself and giving off this burst of energy in a fluctuation in electromagnetic field. I mean, that's the theory, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And, I don't know. Everything is, emits some kind of EMF. Nature does, our equipment, the TV by your bed, your alarm clock, they all give off some kind of electromagnetic field. And if, like I said, if people are sensitive to it and they get bombarded by these things, they could automatically think that in a place like this that has high EMF, that it's going to be haunted or it's something around the corner. And the people here want some answers.
So there's two sides to this story.
Exactly.
Is it the fluctuation of the spirit, or is it the whatever this EMF is doing to the particular individual that's having that experience? So
Exactly.
let's put that to the test here tonight.
Yeah.
Let's go in. Let's start with a base reading and see if we can see what's actually going on here naturally.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. I'm walking into a 0.3. You guys get anything on the case?
No.
I get a 0.5.
All right. How about the spot where supposedly
0.6.
somebody is in touch over here?
Well, I'm getting a little spike here up to 1.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like something like being a
Yeah,
hammer.
with that 1.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting over here on this side.
This is the piece metal that was given to Red Jacket by George Washington.
Isn't that cool?
And that is pretty cool. And not for nothing. I mean, his body was kept here.
Yeah.
As Tony was telling us. So, could it possibly be that, not only for one, his body was kept here, but one of his most prized possessions is kept here. These people that were touched up here, dare I say, could it possibly be Red Jacket? I just want to have a tip for our viewers at home. If you're using any sort of electromagnetic field equipment, trying to pick up any sort of discrepancies in the fluctuation of the electromagnetic field, moving your equipment very fast can sometimes give off a false positive. So make sure when you have your equipment and you're trying to read EMF, you're trying to keep it as level and as still as possible as you move through the building. Okay, this belonged to Lieutenant Colonel Seymour Boughton, a cavalryman who was killed in the Battle of Black Rock. Let's off and start investigating. I think that's something we definitely ought to look at, because if that's blood, that's this guy's, that's this guy's body here, basically. It would be some good reason for him to might be lingering around these plates, and that's something we have to focus in on. Who could this possibly be? With a museum with thousands of artifacts in it, we're digging a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
We're picking out what's kind of like rising on the top. Could it be somebody who's tied to some of these artifacts?
Yeah.
Could somebody's blood be on the sash? Be what's drawing them here? This is something we got to look into. We got to get names. We got to get identities pulled out from our investigation. So, Lieutenant Colonel Seymour Boughton, we hope to see you later.
All right.
That's wood. There's obviously no reason for it to be
did you see that?
electromagnetic field. Look at this. Look at this spike on the Millard Fillmore's carriage. What could be giving off that spike?
You see it there?
Joe's getting a spike on the wheel.
Yeah, on the wheel.
That's something that we're definitely, curious about, because this is not supposed to give off any sort of electromagnetic fluctuation whatsoever.
Leather and wood.
Yeah, I just got a 2.2 on my belt. And then it went back down to 0.3. And now it's steadily rising again. Stopped at 1.1, 1.1.
My K2 just went dead. Down to 1 again.
Took that a fluctuation as soon as you said that.
It's like mine's
In the
gone.
carriage.
Mine's completely gone.
Now it's blinking.
Now it's blinking again?
This is the original floor. This was built for the Pan Am. There was no electricity built into the floor of the building back then.
1901, right?
Never.
Yeah.
So, I'm baffled at this point. Yeah, we're gonna have to let the team know about this and have them come down here and further investigate this actual area, because this carriage should not be giving off EMF as far as I know, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Hey, what's behind this door here? Let's check out what's behind here.
And
Holy moly. I think think we just stumbled onto another part of our investigation. I think
His body was actually housed here.
Hey, what's behind this door here? Let's check out what's behind here.
This is a storage area, right?
Hit a 3.
Oh man.
Oh wow, mine just spiked up to a 10.
Holy moly.
What is this?
This is the underbelly. This is the underbelly of the museum. You know, I remember them telling me about the old exhibit room that they had that was damaged by water damage,
Oh.
and they took it off. You know, obviously they stopped from having any exhibits here. So this must be it.
It looks like.
What a cool looking place. I mean, you can actually see the bricks that built this place. So here's what it sounds like there.
Like
I heard what sounded like footsteps coming down the main stairwell.
I think we
It was
just
like standard. It was like I figured I was going to see something.
There's a unit over here that's running some type of machine.
No, it was. I can hear that. It was like that sound like the stone in your foot, like that. I heard it right there. I know what I heard.
well.
It
I
was
think
like
we
that click,
stumbled.
click, click.
I think we just stumbled onto another main part of our investigation. I think we're gonna have to send a team down here too. I mean, that's pretty significant. You're hearing things. Nobody was down here. This is the step in the area behind us by the carriage that we were just getting that immense fluctuation of EMF. You just got a spike.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that spike he's getting right there. What is going on with the EMF in this place?
It's weird.
And those are the two areas that Tony told us, point blank, he had experiences. He said that he heard humming of a girl with dictation, some sort of words coming out, some sort of song.
Yeah.
A woman's voice out by the carriage,
And then that bang on the.
where he said that he heard the footsteps. All right, if that's a spirit, can you make that go away? Can you step away from those lights? Wow.
Wow.
Okay, we haven't even started this investigation yet. For one, if anything we can do it right now is validate that the two areas that Tony had his experiences,
Yeah.
we're getting weird anomalies on our machines, on our K2s and our mouse. So let's go relay this information back to the team and let's get started investigating right away. I don't think we're gonna waste any more time. Okay?
Okay, guys, I think we should probably head up to the Native American exhibit and check that out. So there's
Okay.
been some experiences and claims.
Cool.
So let's go up there and see what we got.
I'm also half Native American, so hopefully
You could probably
I
trigger something.
can, possibly try to trigger something.
Well, a couple of the claims have been from different people at different times that they've actually been touched on the shoulder. So we might be heading into some physical. Okay. Now, Red Jacket, who was a Seneca Nation leader during the Revolutionary War, his body was actually housed here, right in the museum. So that's interesting that he was here. And his most prized possession is right over there, which is the Peace Medal, which George Washington literally handed him. So, you know, the claim, or we're wondering whether he could still be here, and it's possibly him that's interacting with people up here. So what should we do first? Want to do an EVP session?
Yeah, let's do an EVP session. What I'll do is I'll take pictures.
Okay.
What I have in my hand here, it is a full spectrum camera. Okay, you can see in the full spectrum of light, infrared, ultraviolet. It's said that ghosts can be seen in these spectrums of light that we cannot see with our own eyes. So during our session here, I'll be taking random pictures constantly to see if I can capture something.
Do you know who this carriage belonged to? I just heard somebody walking around in there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, guys, so I'm really excited to get back down here when the lights are off. Joe and I, and Joe, Dan, and I, when we came down here before, we were getting some pretty strange anomalies off the electromagnetic field coming from the carriage that Millard Fillmore actually used So let's see if we can still get any readings off of here. All right, so I'm gonna set up a K2 meter. Now we actually have a pretty steady reading there. Okay, so if the person who's this carriage belongs to is still here, can you give us some sort of indication to our meter that we put on the carriage? Says green lights, can you come over and make him go away? Holy moly. Did you see that? That was like a big, it was just steady too.
Yeah, it was steady.
It was like almost like, you know, when you hold it up to an outlet and just stay steady.
Yeah.
Okay, if somebody is here with us and is able to see that green light that is on this carriage, can you come over to this green light and show us a sign that you are here? Can you grab that meter for us?
Are you the person that the guy in the office heard you step on that wooden slope and heard footsteps out here? If so, try to touch that device and it will light up different colors to let us know that you may be trying to talk to us.
Is there somebody in that room? There's not? I just heard somebody walking around in there. That's... Okay. But I can tell you one thing. I heard somebody walking from this other room. All right, so I think we should just pick up the investigation. If there's any spirits here that we're trying to communicate, we do appreciate that. We're going to close down this line of communication, and I want to see what's going on in this room over here. Boom, 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 boom. Now this is very significant. What we're experiencing right now is we have 2 K2 meters. Okay, we're up against this glass where the sash that belonged to Lieutenant Colonel Seymour Boughton, who died in the Battle of Black Rock, and his blood is still on it. Now we're talking about EMF fluctuations. Okay, why would this one be going off and not this one? Now we have another piece of equipment that I want to try to set up here real quick for Mr. Boughton, and this is his spirit box. Okay. What this does, AM, FM radio, and it has a scan feature taken right out of it, okay? Now, it spits through these channels very, very fast, okay? All the channels, not just the ones that come in, all right? Just every channel. So, spirits can manipulate this static energy into spirit voice through the radio communication. Soldier, are you here? Both, okay. See this indication of the EMF fluctuation? This is the soldier that's trying to communicate with us right now. Is your name Seymour? Seymour Boughton? What was that? Soldier. How did you die? Were you shot? Yeah. Does an item in this room belong to you? Well, big spikes, both things, right? Is this item a gun? It said so. The sash? I think it said the sash.
Is the blood on that sash yours? I need you to focus. Trying to say a 10 hot again.
That seems pretty close to me. Can you get a flashlight?
Me.
Can you get a flashlight? We can get on her wrist real quick. She said just something might have touched her wrist.
Said that they felt someone touching them on the shoulder, kind of
Okay.
just coming up from behind them and just, you know, resting their hand on their shoulder. They turn around and no one there.
Felt like
Okay, so what
feathery.
happened?
Oh, let me turn off that.
I was just standing like this with my hands behind my back, and then right here, just like really lightly, just felt like feathery. And I looked and I saw you behind me, but you're further back, not close enough to touch me.
Okay.
Kinda
So,
strange.
very strange. Very strange.
We've been getting reports of the employees and customers of this museum are being touched by unseen forces. We wish to communicate with these forces Are you here with us? I thought I just heard something in there.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, too.
Was that you that just made that noise? I'm part Native American, so I am a direct descendant of yours. I'm part of your family.
If you are touching people, can you tell us why? Are you trying to get their attention? Perhaps at one time you were the curator and you want us not to touch things, that's why you're touching people? That was the noise behind you?
That was.
It sounded like it came from like
It
this
did.
area.
I agree.
Well, I'm getting a little spike here up to 1.5.
Are you?
Yeah.
Would you like us to pay attention to the headdresses? Was one of them one that you wore?
One of the reasons why we do this is we want to know what is waiting for us after we die.
The device with the green light that I'm holding and the one on the floor is called a K2 meter. I'm not sure if you understand that, but it detects EMF fields, electromagnetic fields, that we think you could manipulate and converse with us and
Let us know you're here.
question and answer, right? If you're here, light up this device. Has multiple lights on it.
Yes,
Will
or
not
make
harm
some kind of noise. Let us know that you're here. We've been here all day. We've been waiting to talk to you.
I heard a noise over there.
Yeah, I heard the
Up
noise.
across the way.
Did you hear it too?
Yep.
I have a camera in my hand here where I have the ability to see you if you can manifest yourself. Can you do that for us? Yeah, I definitely heard a noise over there. Could you come a little closer to us? Are you stuck here in this building, or are you allowed to travel through space and time?
I'm going to turn on the obelisk and just see if we get something more of that. So we've been hearing some noise off in the distance. If that's you, why don't you come a little closer? All right.
So you...
I asked you to come closer and said all right.
Is that all right?
Said all right.
I think...
Did we show that?
Hang on a minute, hang
Shadow?
on. I thought I did, but...
What the hell was that?
That was loud, man.
That was like a screechy, demon-sounding noise.
It's a word box full of, I don't know, 5,000 words or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's believed that spirits can manipulate it.
Human. Yeah, we're human.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Anything going on in the Native American room? Here's your chance to shine. So we're wondering if the gentleman who made this beautiful, beautiful clock, I don't know if you can see it, but look at the artistry and the craftsmanship on this thing. Must have taken hours and hours to build it, to make it. And it was donated to the History Museum, and the gentleman who made it passed away a week later. So we're wondering if you're possibly here and come to visit and see people admiring your work. Oh, here's the order over here.
All right.
Hey, is this not a Bible? Is this a Bible? It's a Bible. Well, I mean, the obelisk said Bible earlier, so I'm wondering if it was... Yeah, this could definitely be a Bible. So. Now, earlier when we were down in the holy room, you actually said the word Bible, and we're actually up here now where there's a Bible. So what do you want to say to us?
I hear whispering. Oh my God. I just seen, like, something just fly right across there.
Well,
See? See?
what's that? That was loud.
Hello? I just seen you. And we all heard you. Oh, my heart's going like a million miles an hour. Right now. Can you do that again? We just want to talk to you. We don't mean no harm. No, it wasn't probably just the camera. There's no other sources of light in here.
Yeah, I don't know how they could.
I hear it again. We just seen, well, I just seen something fly across here. And then as soon as I said I seen it, we heard a noise. All three of us heard a noise over there. And then I keep hearing
Under.
whispering noises.
Are you hiding underneath something right now?
And then you said you seen a shadow on that wall?
Yeah, on the wall right there.
Right.
Where your finger is.
What level was it that you saw it? Like how high? What's that? That's
You hear that?
what is that? That like
You hear that? It's like movement.
dragging.
Dragging?
Yeah, like dragging. That's
Who's here? Okay, we hear you. We keep hearing noises. It's like dragging and whispers. And we just want to communicate with you. Is there something that you wish to relay to us? What?
demon.
Demon?
Demon. Yeah.
Okay, so clearly we're communicating with something intelligent. It doesn't necessarily mean...
Yeah, we had human coming up the stairs, and now we have demon. Let's go back to the Bible area, can we?
Yeah, the noise was coming from over here. I'm coming over here.
Yeah, this falls over there.
Where are you right now?
You said the word under. Are you under something right now? Are you waiting for us to leave? Are you waiting for us to leave?
Are you waiting for us to leave? Well, that's one of them.
That better be one of them, because I just my pants.
What was that though? That didn't sound like a door or...
Scott, did you guys just shut some door or something?
Cough.
Or cough?
Negative.
You gotta be f***ing kidding me.
What's it?
News.
News?
News. What was that? If that wasn't them, what the heck was that?
Well, I was recording and...
You said the word under. Are you under something right now? Are you waiting for us to leave?
Yeah, right there.
What the hell was that?
That was loud, man.
That was like a screechy, demon-sounding noise. That wasn't a door. That wasn't a door.
You said the word under. Are you under something right now? Are you waiting for us to leave?
That was like a scream.
Go back and see.
What does that say?
Poor.
You said the word under. Are you under something right now? Are you waiting for us to leave?
Yo, that's like... Hide?
No, a wide. I don't either. That was a weird. That's not a door sound to me. I mean, we can. But it was long too. It wasn't. It was loud. It was super loud. It was long and it was weird. So if it's not the front door, then I don't know what the hell it is.
I'm seeing like move, like in this doorway and over there.
Well, I'm sure they're all around. They're.
All right, let's.
But I don't like the fact that we got demon and then we hear something
Human
like
and
that.
then demon.
Yeah. Like, yeah, okay, you guys are the humans. Now let's see what the demons can do. Is there something that's not human in here?
Is there anyone down here with us?
Are you the shadow that they see down here?
See that?
Is there anyone down here with us?
Can you tell me how many people are in the room? Two.
I need you to state your name.
Are you the shadow that they see down here?
Are you hiding from somebody?
Who is Joseph?
I thought it said I'm Joseph.
I think that's exactly what it
It sounded like I'm Joseph.
Yeah, so it sounded like to me. Hello?
Is that you, Joseph?
And how old do you think he is?
I just get the feeling, well, boy, it's gotta be between 7, 10, 8, 10.
You think it might be a child? Perhaps a little boy, young boy?
See that?
Okay. Can you try to talk to us, please? Try to tell us your name. Just so that I know that it's not a fluke, can you make it flash to red again? Like you did, please?
That one down there is.
Can you see us? If you can see us, light up the devices on the floor and on this bench.
Ooh.
So you can see us. Can you flash it to red, please? Right when I'm pointing. Right to red, if you could. Concentrate.
That was almost there.
Okay, if that's... Can you back away now and just let it go to the one green light?
Are you by yourself here? He's working towards your red.
Right?
That's great.
It's like he's standing right there with us or something.
There it is.
Oh,
That red.
there it is. It went down. Hit the red and went down.
Thank you.
Great job.
How many are here with you? One. That was so clear.
Clear.
And it
Yeah.
sounded like a little boy to me.
Yeah.
And then the light went back on.
Explain the energy. I just feel this.
Alright, I'm going to place this device on the middle of the floor. It's our K2 meter. It's going to pick up electromagnetic fields. If there is anything here, we're going to place another device on the floor that will record. We'll be able to hear you speak. Or you can touch this device on the floor and it will allow us to know that you're here as well.
So who's here with us right now?
Can you give us your name? If there's anybody in the room with us and you don't want to come forward, can you give us a sign that you're here? Make a noise. What's going on? Well, what are you talking?
I don't know,
You want to sit down? Oh my God.
what? Don't do what?
Dana.
I'm like shaking right now
Look
and
at
I'm
the
on
back.
fire.
See that?
What is it, what?
3 red scratches.
Wow.
I just like started shaking and my chest got really heavy and I just was like, Dan, I'm on fire until I checked my face. Like, I'm like,
Are you okay though?
yeah.
Continue?
I just, like I said, it wasn't a good feeling, it wasn't a bad feeling. I just, you know what, it could be just a way of communication, not meaning anything. Just an attention
Yeah, but that
grabber.
happened to you once before.
Yeah, and it wasn't a negative way. I just felt like real off, like funhouse effect. I couldn't breathe, and I just looked at Dan. I'm like,
It's
I
happened
feel
to
like I'm on fire.
One other time it happened to her, and she said the same thing. I feel like I'm on fire. She goes like this on her back, and when we pulled up her, shirt on her back, her whole back was scratched up. Kind of weird.
Okay, so I gathered everybody up here in the museum after our investigations. How did you guys think everything went? Good.
Amazing.
Now, I know just from talking to the three team leaders on the team that every team seemed to have experienced anything. Can anybody say that they have experienced something that was a little out of place tonight?
Yes.
Are we safe to say that there's a little something more going on behind the scenes at the Buffalo History Museum?
Yeah.
That most people know. I'm Cameron DeBoyne with the Greater Western New York Paranormal Society.
And I'm Joe Chin from Ghost Hunters International. Check out our friends at pitsociety.com.
Keep up the great work, guys.